In this video, you will learn how to find the limit algebraically with radical functions. Let's see first example, find the limit of the following function. So find the limit as x approaches to number 9 for the square root of x minus 3 over x minus 9. So what you need to do is first, you substitute each x by the number 9, okay? So we take the square root of 9 minus 3 over 9 minus 9. So x minus x is equal to 0, 9 minus 9 is equal to 0. Here you have a problem. It is 0 dividing by 0. This is indeterminate quantity, okay? So as a solution, we have to change in the shape of the equation. So for this type of equations, when you have the square root of something, you have to multiply the equation by the conjugate. Okay, so you ask yourself, where I have the square root, in this case it is the square root of x minus 3, so you multiply the equation, the numerator and the denominator by the square root of x plus 3. Okay, so I already explained what is the conjugate, so you can click on this card here to watch it, or I will explain it in quickly also. So we said that a minus b, what is the conjugate of a minus b? It is a plus b. So we change only the sign of here, okay? So what is the conjugate of the square root of x minus 3 now? So you just change the sign from minus to plus, so you take the square root of x plus 3. Okay, so what we changed is only the sign. So we multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the square root of x minus 3. Then we get x minus 9 over x minus 9 multiplied by the square root of x plus 3. Why? Because we already said you can click on this card here to watch it, or I will explain it also quickly. We said that when you have a minus b multiplied by a plus b, this is a formula. We have a formula for that. We say this is equal to a square minus b square. Okay, this is a formula. We call it the difference of squares. You see, difference, this minus difference of squares, a square, b square. So in this case, we have the square root of x minus 3 multiplied by the square root of x plus 3, the square root of x plus 3. So you follow this formula. This is equal to the square root of x square minus 3 to the power 2, okay, square. So this is equal to, this square will disappear with the square root of x, so x, that's why we have x here, minus 3 square is equal to 9, that's why we have 9 here, okay. Then x minus 9, we didn't touch it, and the square root of x plus 3, we didn't touch it, it will remain, okay. So here we have the advantage of doing those steps, multiplying by the conjugate and doing those steps is, you see, x minus 9 and here x minus 9. So we have the advantage to say this, go with this, okay? So we divide x minus 9 by x minus 9. So this is equal to 1. So we have 1 over the square root of x plus 3, okay? So then we find the limit now. Now we can proceed with the limit. So find the limit as x approaches to number 9 for 1 over the square root of x plus 3. Okay? So we substitute x by the number 9. Okay? And the square, so it is like that. It is 1 over the square root of 9 plus 3. So that's why we get the square root of 9 is equal to 3, and 3 we didn't touch it, and 1 is here. Okay, So this is equal to 1 over 6. Let's see second example. Find the limit as x approaches to 0 for the square root of x plus 4 minus 2 over x. So first step is to do, you substitute each x by 0, okay? So we take the square root of 0 plus 4 minus 2 over 0. So here we have a problem. We have 0 divided by 0. And this is indeterminate quantity. We have to avoid it. So what we do is, ask yourself, first question is, where do I have the square root? Okay? So you have the square root for the numerator. So you multiply the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the square root, the square where you have square root, meaning you multiply it by the square root of x plus 4 plus 2. So this is the conjugate of the square root of x plus 4 minus 2. You see, we only changed the sign, okay? Then we apply this formula for this one. You see, it is the difference. Here we have the same equations. The only thing is, here we have minus, here we have plus, and this applies to, as we said before also, when you have a minus b multiplied by a plus b, this is equal to a squared minus b squared, right? So it is the same case. Here you have the square root of x plus 4 minus 2 multiplied by the square root of x plus 4 plus 2, and this is equal to the square root of x. So we apply this formula here. So the square root of x plus 4 minus 2, yes. This is like that. So here we have minus, so you take the square here, so this square root will disappear with this square, so you have x plus 4 minus 2 square is 4. That's why we get x plus 4 minus 4, and x we will multiply by this, but so x multiplied by the square root of x plus 4 plus 2, we didn't touch it, okay? So here you see plus 4 minus 4 is equal to 0, so this disappears. We have x divided by x, so it is 1, okay? So we have now 1 divided by the square root of x plus 4 plus 2. This we didn't change it, okay? Then we take the limit. So we did those steps. We first multiplied by the conjugate, the equation we multiplied by the conjugate, and we did those steps simplification to finally get this shape of the equation, okay? So we now find the limit as x approaches to 0 for 1 over the square root of x plus 4 plus 2. So this is equal to 1 over 4. What we did here is simply we just take 1 over the square root of 0 plus 4 plus 2. So the square root of 4 is equal to 2. So we have 1 over 2 plus 2, and it is equal to 4. Okay? Let's see example number 3. Find the limit as x approach to the number 2 for the square root of 6 minus x minus 2 over the square root of 3 minus x minus 1. So if we replace, instead we substitute each x by the number 2, we'll finally get 0 divided by 0, and this makes a problem, right? So this is indeterminate quantity. So ask yourself this question: where do I have square roots? You have on the numerator and the denominator, right? So we'll multiply the equation by the conjugate of the square root of 6 minus x minus 2, and this one here, and also we'll multiply the equation by the square root of 3 minus x minus 1, this one here, okay? So we multiply one time for this one and second time for this one, okay? Then we get this one. How we get this? So what we do is we take this one here, okay, this one here, and we put it for the denominator, and we take this one here and we put it for the numerator. Then we multiply this by this one. So when we multiply the square root of 6, so we multiply the square root. So this is the difference of squares, okay, as we did in previous examples. The square root of 6 minus x minus 2 multiplied by, so this one multiplied by the conjugate, the square root of 6 minus x plus 2. So we get, so we take the square, this is equal to, we take the square of 6 minus x square minus multiplied by 2, okay, square. So this will disappear with this, we will get 6 minus x, okay, that's why this is 6 minus x minus 2 square is 4, so 4, okay. So since we multiplied this by this, right, so we multiplied this, we did this difference of squares, okay, we still have this one, so that's why we put it here, okay, we didn't touch this one here. Then we do the same steps here. What we did here, we will do it here. We will multiply this one here. I will change the color. Okay, so we will multiply this one here, the square root of 3 minus x minus 1, by this one here, the square root of 3 minus x plus 1. We will do the same steps. We will say the square root of 3 minus x minus 1 multiplied by the square root of 3 minus x plus 1, the conjugate, this one here, and we will get this is equal to 3 minus x square minus 1 square, right? So we will get 3 minus x, this one here, minus 1, okay? So we'll do it like that. So, and this one we didn't touch it, right? So we said we'll put it for the denominator. Then we take, so 6 minus 4 is equal to number 2, right? So 2. Minus x will remain the same. Then we have 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. Minus x, we won't touch it, okay? This also will, we don't touch it for the moment. So we see that 2 minus x, they disappear, okay? Then finally we have the square root of 3 minus x plus 1, we don't touch it, and the square root of 6 minus x plus 2, we don't touch it, okay? So last step is we take the limit as x approaches to the number 2 for the square root of 3, this one here, we take it here. So we find the limit for this one, and we say the square root of, so we substitute x by the number 2, so we say 3 minus 2 plus 1 over the square root of 6 minus 2 plus 2. This is equal to, so 3 minus 2 is equal to 1, the square root of 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is equal to the number 2, okay? 6 minus 2 is equal to 4, the square root of 4 is equal to 2, so 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, and finally if you divide 2 by 2 and 4 by 2, it is equal to 1 over 2. Okay, that's why. So finally the limit is equal to 1 over 2. Let's see fourth example. So find the limit as x approach to the number 1 for 2 minus the square root of x plus 3 over x squared plus 2x minus 3. So here, when we substitute each x by the number 1, we'll get the division 0 divided by 0, and this is a problem. This is indeterminate quantity, right? So here ask yourself, where do I have the square root? I have it on the numerator, right? So you'll multiply the equation by 2 instead. So this is minus, we'll make it plus 2 plus the square root of x plus 3. Okay, so we multiply the equation by 2 plus the square root of x plus 3. Okay, and this is equal to, so as we said, we follow this rule. We say we take the difference of squares. We say this is a square minus b square. So when we take the square of this, it will become 4. And if we take this square, the square will disappear with the square root. So you'll get x minus x plus 3. Okay? Divided by, so this, we don't touch it. We just put it as it is. And we multiply it by this one, but we just keep it as it is. Okay? Then we get 1 minus x over the same equation, but what we did here actually, now 4 minus x plus 3. So here we put this minus inside the equation, so you get 4 minus x minus 3. So 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. Minus x won't be changed. That's why you get 1 minus x. Then here we have, this is x squared plus 2x minus 3. We look for two numbers. So we look for two numbers. When we multiply them, we have to get minus 3. And two numbers, when we add them, we have to get 2. Okay, here is minus 3 and here is 2, so we have to get 2. So here in this case, 3 multiplied by minus 1 is equal to minus 3, right? So this satisfies the equation, because we don't want to change the value of the equation. We need to factorize in order to find the limit without getting division 0 divided by 0. Okay, so this is the purpose of doing those steps, multiplying by the conjugate and factorizing. So then two numbers, when we it has to be with the same numbers. So if we take 3 minus 1, so 3 minus 1 is equal to the number 2. So this also satisfies this one here. So in this case we take x plus 3 multiplied by x minus 1. Okay, so it is this one here. And this one we don't touch it. 2x 2 plus the square root of x plus 3. Okay, then so we erase this one. Then we take the limit as x approach to the number 1. So in this case here, you see what I did. We had x minus 1 here, 1 minus x. What we do is I have to get, instead of x 1 minus x, I have to get x minus 1 in order to say this will go with this, will disappear. So in order to do that, if I took minus outside and I multiplied the equation the minus. So if we open this again, so minus x minus 1, if we multiply minus by the equation, so you'll get minus x plus 1. And this, in this case, we didn't change anything for the equation. We have positive 1, negative x, negative x. So it didn't change, okay? We didn't change anything. So here now I can say this will disappear with this, okay? And we will get, so when this disappear with this, we had minus here, right? So minus 1 will remain here. And we have as finally we have x plus 3 multiplied by 2 plus the square root of x plus 3. So this is equal to, so now we find the limit. Limit as x approaches to the number 1. So we plug, we substitute each x by 1. So we take 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. Then here we have 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. 4, the square root of 4 is equal to the number 2. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So finally we get minus 1 over 16. Okay? Thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next video.